I was surprised actually, even though I was already hearing the news
Yeah.
as far back as 10 years before that it was gonna be sold eventually. But it never surprised you when eventually that time will come, and that was last Wednesday. So I was just as surprised as you guys.
Well, Coach, first of all, thank you very much for accepting this call kasi syempre, you've already done so many interviews about Alaska in the past few days. A lot of people have asked you about yung legacy nila and your time there. But right now, seeing all the love all of a sudden for the Alaska Aces, nagulat ka ba that so many people have come up and declared how much Alaska has changed them as basketball fans, as players? Nagulat ka ba in terms of yung impact ng franchise na to?
Hindi naman siguro kagulat-gulat because once you're winning, I think the fans gravitate towards you whether you're friendly or not, or you're on the other side. Eventually they're gonna respect you for how you play the game, especially when you know that the franchise that Fred built was built on integrity, playing the right way, and not making shortcuts. People will eventually respect you, especially now that Alaska is leading.
All right, Coach. How about your personal, experience with the Alaska franchise? What does it really mean to you? Because majority of your playing career is with the Alaska franchise. You grew up with them. What does it really mean to you to be part of this one?
It's I would say that I built my reputation, my name, while playing in Alaska, and
Yeah.
that says a lot. Because if I was playing for Alaska, if I didn't win, I would just probably be an ordinary player. Probably I'll be scoring more points probably, but I probably wasn't winning a lot. So winning does a lot to somebody's reputation, and a great deal of that was because I was with Alaska and because I was under a great owner and a tremendous coach in Tim Cohn.
I like how rings are more important than points for you, Coach. That's already additional plus points right now, just hearing that. Pero, syempre...
It was hard. I was scoring before Johnny Bong came in, before Jeff came in. I was scoring a lot. But it was getting so tiresome, doing all the work, getting double teams. I had to kick it out. And when they came in, the game was easier.
Yeah. It really felt that the whole thing came into place. I actually felt that, and I know you mentioned this in the previous interview, that you could have actually had 2 Grand Slams had the Centennial team not necessarily have formed with a big Alaska core. But, that's already, we can chalk that down to history. When you look at yung mga memories mo, and when did you feel Alaska was at its peak and its prime? Was it that Grand Slam season, or maybe some other time you felt that maybe didn't win everything, but they were the strongest and most dominant team sa PBA?
I would say the '95 season was the beginning of the dominance of our team, because although we only won one there, but we're in the finals for 3 straight times. We won in '94. I think we were in the finals 8 straight times, and
Wow.
I don't know if that was probably paralleled only during the Crispa days, but getting to the finals 8 straight times, it's feat enough. So in '94, we won one, and then in '95, we won one, the last conference with Sean, but we were in the finals. So when we lost that Game 7 against Sunkist, and I think I remember meeting with the guys and telling them '96 could be a special year for us, and we know what's coming, and John is just coming into his own, and Jeff is going to be in his second year, and I was at the peak of my career. So everyone is... we were all in sync and we were ready to just go.
Yeah.
All right. So, Coach, personally though, do you think that 1996 first All-Filipino Championship is probably one of the most memorable for you, because you also won Finals MVP in that one?
You're nodding, you're smiling. I think that we know the answer.
Coach, you don't have to kick it out to
We wanna-
the other teammates. You can shoot your shot in this question.
'96 was extremely sweet for me because it was my first All-Filipino crown. I was in the All-Filipino finals with Pure Foods. I was there for 3 straight years.
Yeah.
Beginning in my rookie year, 88, 89, 90, if I'm not mistaken. And then I always lose. And All-Filipino is, you can always say that if you win that one, you are going to be the best in the country without any reinforcement. So
Yeah.
when we won that first one in '96, I said this is probably going to be the sweetest, and probably the only thing that's going to top this is winning the Grand Slam.
Well, eventually that did happen.
Yep.
And Coach, it's interesting because a lot of people have talked about what Alaska has done, yung achievements nila. But I actually want to talk about who made it difficult for you, or who did you enjoy matching up against,
Ang dami
especially
nun.
during that time. Kasi I remember at one point, Alaska built a reputation as the Ginebra Killers. They were the ones that would take down any crowd favorite and just were so ruthless and efficient. Do you have any favorite memories of going up against anyone or any team in particular, Coach?
The Ginebra games, whether it be a regular season game or in the playoffs, in the finals, it's always fun because, you know, you have the big crowd and you have Jaworski there, getting everyone to cheer for them and getting the crowd excited. And, you know, it's always going to be a rough game. And I remember Tim Cohn, when we play Ginebra, he would always say, and ironic that he is already on the other side, because he was always saying, hey, we're not going to get any calls today. Okay, so you got to remember that, and you got to be tougher on all your plays, you know, play with force and all that.
Coach,
And-
baka may mga ano ka dyan, may mga kwento ka na, you know, personal kwento that the fans don't know when you go up against Ginebra.
Well, I remember Jaworski, and he had a son, si Dudut. You probably know Dudut.
Yeah.
And he was there in the lineup, and he was always starting. And I just don't want to mention, you know, he's there. You know, he played for Ateneo. He's okay.
Yeah.
Okay? But man, when he was on the floor, he would talk smack all the time.
Wow.
And I would just look at him and say, my God, the gall of this guy, you know, talking smack to us. You know, I was playing basketball since I was 8 years old, and this is my profession. And you know, I just couldn't stand that people talk smack at me, and we were at the peak of our
Yeah.
game. And you know, it was just part of the game, and you know, that little banter there, here and there, but all is good. Like,
Part
you
of
know,
the game, yep.
no offense, but you know, it gets me riled up and it gets me to play better, actually, which is good.
You know what? Now I want to go back and look at the old tapes and see every time he's matched up with you, just to see if
I wanna see that too, Pao.
if you're extra angry going, if you took it personally. And of course, Coach, this question has always been asked over
No,
and over.
no. It wasn't all the time. I think it only happened once.
Oh,
But,
just once?
Yeah, probably once, and it never happened again.
Oh, okay. No, that's still really interesting. I'm still gonna scour the tapes and figure out if I can find it. But Coach, when you look at the legacy that Alaska has left, everyone has talked about it, winning with integrity, what it meant to them as fans, as players, as opponents, as being part of the franchise. Now that you had time to really absorb everyone's reaction, what can you safely say is the legacy of the Alaska franchise?
That you can win. I've said it. I've said this piece in one of my interviews. You can still win if you can without breaking the bank. And if you
Yeah.
draft well, if you trade well, you get the right personnel to play well together. You got the right coach. You can still win. You don't have to get all the best players in the league. So probably you can have 2, 3, 4 guys as your core, and you have supporting guys that know their role, and you will have a solid franchise.